Hi, and welcome to the Alchemize powered by Maxis training manual. In this video, we are going to see how the core components of Alchemize work, and we will explore the repository component in detail. These are the core components of repositories. Today we will go deeper into repositories, which is a space where we can retract data and store data. A repository is for complete information regarding data. Let's start by logging in with our username and password that we've created. In External System, located in the toolbar, there are repositories. Go to Add New Repositories on the right-hand side. As you can see from the drop-down menu, there are different options for repositories which Alchemize supports. Some examples of these are DB2, Elasticsearch, Web Service, File System, as well as Excel. As you can see, I've already created a repository for the purpose of today's training. I've created an Oracle repository. In the detail table, you will enter the details of your repository. You can name your repository, describe your repository based on your project, database name, and after that the schema. Next is the driver. The driver type will be selected automatically. Next, you select your dialect from the drop-down menu, and after that the server. Whatever server you have configured for this database, you will provide the IP address here. After this, the port number after which you have configured the server, and after that the username, which are the credential requirements in order to connect to the database. With the help of the test button, we can see if the connection that we've created is functioning correctly. Once you click, you can see at the bottom right-hand side the pop-up says Connected to Database is working. As well, it shows your database name to ensure that your confirmation is in the correct repository. This is the structure of repository. As you can see in the PowerPoint, we have the fields which we have reviewed. Unique identifier, just like description name, repository description, the simple descriptor for your database, database name, after that the dialect, then the types of drivers, and the name of the server or IP address, port where the server is configured, and lastly, the credentials to connect to this particular server. Also in the repositories, we are supporting the objects for this core component, so we can now easily import these objects, which is a functionality provided in Alchemize. Go to this repository and select View Object. You can have the option to view from this area in the context menu, and you can also see by clicking on the icon. These are the objects that have already been imported. We can also import it from Import Object. On the top right-hand side, in the middle, click Import Objects and select the schema that you are configuring for your database tables from the drop-down menu. Additionally, you can search for whatever table you need to perform the operation. Click and select the particular object and click Import. This particular object will be imported in your repository. Alchemize also provides the opportunity to import from other repositories as well. Click Import Object, then tick From Another Repository, and select the desired repository from the drop-down menu, then select the appropriate schema associated. This way, if you have objects in another repository, you can easily transition them from one repository to another. Additionally, if you need to see the columns in that particular table, you can go to the work order by clicking View Attributes. Next, click on Import Attributes at the top, and now you can import all of the columns of that particular object. Click Select All and Save to import this. I have already done this for the purpose of this training. You can search here for the work order ID. You can assign a surrogate identity, and here I've assigned the surrogate ID to the work order ID. So once I click on this field, you can see that my work order number pops up with the correct repository. You can also add a new attribute manually at the top left-hand side. These are the functions that we have covered in our repositories section: creating a repository and objects, importing objects, import from another repository, generate script for whatever object you are going to select, and test to make sure you are automatically connected to the database. These are the elements of a relational database repository. If you go to web service, which I've created a web service repository, you can also try do connection confirmation and the testing to see if it is successful on the bottom right-hand screen, just like we did with our Oracle repository example. We've also provided global parameters in this menu, so you can see if you need to send the global parameters for this web service repository. Click on Global Parameters, and here you can see if you need to authenticate the global parameters for this particular repository. This concludes the repository training video portion of the Alchemize Powered by Maxis training manual. We hope that this video has helped you on your journey to creating your repository inside of Alchemize, and we thank you for joining us today in our training manual video.